One question we had is if the New York state law passes, would New York City scrap its new law? We had a similar thing happen with the New York City sick leave law, as you may be familiar with. They probably would not scrap it. You would probably technically be subject to both if you're hiring for positions in New York City. That being said, in New York City, you would have to then comply with both, not just the New York City law. And as currently drafted, it looks like the New York state law would be broader than the New York City law in most cases, because it would require identifying additional information. There may be slight coverage issues. As I said, arguably the New York state law only applies if you have at least 4 employees in New York State, where the New York City law arguably applies even if you only have 1 employee in New York State. If that person happens to be in New York City and you have over 4 employees overall. So those are the other thing, as we saw with the sick leave law, is if need be, the New York City Council or the Commission on Human Rights may somehow adapt how they're enforcing or what the requirements are of the New York City law to make sure that compliance with the New York State law would also apply to New York City, for people who are subject to both.